another episode of Disturbing Reasons to Be Afraid of the Dark. Ah, yes, it's Friday. Friday. Okay, we're going to be finishing the Bell Witch Cave today. Well, trying to finish. I'm not sure if we're going to finish because it's a really, really in-depth story that I have planned for this one. So it's probably going to be a little bit longer than what we're used to. So just bear with it. Listen to it. Absorb it. It's very interesting. It's very compelling, and I'm glad you're here to join me with it. But yeah, I am not gonna do my paranormal experience today. I'm so sorry for the ones that were waiting for it. I thought it through, and I'm gonna finish this one first, and then I'll tell y'all, because I don't wanna. For the ones that's waiting for this to finish, I don't wanna disappoint, but I am going to tell y'all the ones that are waiting for my paranormal experience, the one that made me believe, like I told y'all yesterday. I will tell y'all, do not worry, it is coming, I promise. And Jenny's going to join us today because I wish she won't knock down my camera. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, if I could light it. You think I could light it, Jenny? Yes, I did. Okay. I just hope she doesn't knock me over. Don't play with that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, if you didn't watch the first one, I would recommend you go watch the first one. It's very adamant. I'm very adamant that you do, because you're gonna be lost. And I don't want you to be lost. I want you to enjoy it. Okay, so please go watch it first and make sure you subscribe. Please. Okay. Let's get started. Bill Eaton could also recount a number of encounters he had on his own in the cave. You can hear footsteps in there all the time, and I saw one thing, he once said in the interview. Lots of people come out here expecting to see a ghost or a witch, of whatever you want to call it. I just call it a spirit, and it looked like a person with his back turned to you. It looked like it was built out of a real white looking heavy fog or snow, or something real solid white, but you couldn't see through it. It had the complete figure of a person till it got down to about its ankles. It wasn't touching the floor at all. It was just drifting, bouncing along. As Eden mentioned, a lot of people came to the cave hoping to see or experience a ghost. While many of them went away disappointed, some got a little more than they bargained for. Eden had taken a group of young people into the cave one evening for a tour. They had been inside for about an hour and had stopped in the back room where they talked for a while, and Bill told of his experiences in the area. As they were starting to leave, one of the girls in the group started to make some remarks about the authenticity of the place, whether it was really haunted, and about how disappointed she was that nothing had happened or had appeared. She continued this monologue into the passage connecting to the two rooms, which is quite narrow. Everyone else in the group seemed to be having a good time, and Eden was used to the squeals and giggles and laughter that often accompanied young people on the tours of the cave. The girl who was complaining was walking directly in front of Eden at this point. She was walking along and then all of a sudden stumbled backwards as if she had been pushed. She took a couple of steps back and then sat down hard on the floor of the cave. She insisted that someone had slapped her, even when Eden tried to convince her otherwise. Eden helped the girl to her feet, still skeptical, and they all moved to the front room of the cave. Once there, he shined his light on her face to see how badly she had been hurt. He looked at her cheek and was surprised to see a red welt and the prints of fingers that were still visible where she had been struck. That's crazy. In the early summer of 1977, several soldiers from Fort Campbell, Kentucky came over to visit the cave. Eden took the young men on the tour and ended up in the back room, where all of them sat around talking, and Eden told his stories of the odd events on the farm. One of the men politely expressed some doubts about the validity of the story. He had been to many places that were supposedly haunted, and nothing out of the ordinary had ever occurred to him. Eden laughed and shrugged his shoulders. The man could believe whatever he wanted to, but as far as Bill, well, he had seen enough things on the farm to know that something unexplainable was going on. If something happened, You probably wouldn't ever come back here again, Bill added with a grin. The group sat and talked for a short while longer, and then they all got up to leave, all except for the young man who had up, spoke up about doubt in his disbelief of ghosts. Mr. Eaton, come here and help me, the soldier said. I can't get up. Eden and the man's friends all assumed that he was joking, and they all began to laugh. It wasn't until Bill took a good look at the man that he realized that something really was wrong. The young man was now begging for help, and his face was drenched so badly with sweat that it looked like someone had poured a bucket of water over him. When Eden took his hold of his hand to help him up, he could feel the man's hand was cold and clammy, as if he were going into shock. The man continued to call for help and claimed that he could feel strong arms wrapped around his chest. They were squeezing him tightly, he said, and he was unable to breathe. Eden and the other men helped their friend to his feet, and while the soldiers supported him, Eden wiped his face off with some runoff water from the cave. When the soldier got to feeling better, they took him outside of the cave completely recovered and was suffering no ill effects from his harrowing experience. As he was heading to his car, he stopped and shook Bill Eden's hand. Well, you were right about one thing, Mr. Eden, the young soldier said. I won't ever be back here ever again. The present-day owners of the Bell Witch Cave and the piece of the old Bell Farm made so famous by Bill Eden and Chris and Walter Kirby. Walter is a tobacco farmer, and Chris manages to stay busy managing the upkeep and offering tours of the cave. In the summer months, this task is more than a full-time job. The Kirbys purchased the land in April 1993. The place had been empty for several years after the death of Bill Eden, but by the summer, the cave was open again for business over the course of the next year or so. They made a number of improvements to the cave, which included the new lights, a new electrical system, and improved paths of the cave, wooden walkways to cross the most treacherous areas of the trail, and a number of other things. These improvements continue today. It wasn't long after the Kirbys moved into the farm and began conducting tours in the cave before they realized things weren't quite right on the property. They began to notice first that there were strange noises that didn't have any easy explanation. We've heard them in the cave and we've heard them in the house, Chris has said on occasion. I feel like if there's any place that could be haunted, it's this place here. First of all, it's got the legend of the haunting. There's an Indian burial mound right above the mouth of the cave on the bluff, and the previous owner of the cave died in our bedroom. One day, Chris and her dog were leading a tour of the cave for a group of visitors. She was just opening the steel gate that leads inside when she heard a strange sound. The same sort of sound described by Bill Eden and one of his tour groups years before. It sounded like a real raspy breathing sound, she said, like someone couldn't get their breath. It only lasted for a minute, and then it was gone. Chris looked back at her tour group, but they were all quietly talking amongst themselves and hadn't heard a thing. The tour continued through the first room, down the narrow passage, and into the second room. Here, as is the tradition in the Bell Witch Cave tours, Chris began telling stories of the witch, the haunting, and the strange incidents on the farm. As she was talking, the dog suddenly reacted to something that no one else could see. The hair on the animal's back stood up, and she began showing her teeth, growling. The tour group asked what was wrong with the dog, but Chris had no idea. She was finally able to calm the dog down, but then the animal began to calm down. But then the animal began whining and tucked her tail between her legs. She cowered back against Chris, and at that same moment, the flashlights in Chris and suddenly went out. And at the same moment, the flashlights went out, and so did the other tour group's flashlights go out. I guess that it was just the battery at first, Chris remembered. But then the lady's video camera stopped working too. We were all standing there in the dark, and I'll tell you, I was ready to get out of there, and everyone else was too. Chris has also reported strange apparitions that has been seen in the cave by visitors and staff members alike. Some of these shapes are misty and fog-like, sometimes appearing in different parts of the cave, only to vanish when approached. She also recalled another type of image they have seen. It looked like heat waves that came up over the highway in the summertime, she explained. You could see them out of the corner of your eye, and then they're gone. One of the ongoing traditions, or legends, if you will, of the Bell Witch Cave involves the removal of any sort of artifact from the premises, be it rocks or anything else found inside of the cave. Some believe that perhaps the energy of the area is embedded in some way within the actual makeup of the place, and maybe removing a portion of the cave, you are inviting the phenomenon that occurs here to travel with you. Others are not so scientific. They believe that the spirit of the witch will follow anyone who removes something from the cave. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I wish I could finish this page, but we don't have enough time, and it's not that much, so it's making me really, really weirded on it. But what I'll do is I'll read this for you tomorrow, and then I'll give you my paranormal experience with it, so that way it kind of evens out for y'all. So that way y'all get the rest of the story, and then y'all get my paranormal experience. So that way I'll combine it together for y'all, like in 2 separate videos. Or I might just, I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure that out for y'all, I promise. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing this for y'all. Thank you for all my new subscribers that have just, sorry, I dropped my book. But thank you for all my new subscribers that have joined me last night. I really appreciate it. So, hi guys. And if you have any requests, since you're new, if you have any requests or anything like that, any kind of haunted place, any kind of murders that cause hauntings, anything at all, just let me know and I will research it. And I'll let you know when I could get it on and when I could squeeze that in, because I do have things lined up. But if it's a good story, which it doesn't really matter, if you request, I will put it up. I do not mind, no matter if it's long, short. I'll improvise. So whatever you want, I will do. It doesn't really matter to me, really. As long as I make y'all happy, that's what I'm here for, in a way, to give y'all the truth, to give y'all what no one else would tell y'all, to talk about things no one else would tell y'all. Remember, Ghost Adventures plays this weekend. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I am so happy that Ghost Adventures play. Like, I am a true Ghost Adventures fan. Like, anything like Paranormal Witness, a haunting, anything like that, I'm down for. I will watch any scary movie. I am down for. I will watch. I mean, no matter if people's like, oh my God, it sucks. I don't care. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give my own opinion, just like any other case. If you ask me to investigate or anything, if you find something strange going on in your home and you think something's going on and people are like, oh my God, that's nothing, that's just rats, I will come and I will debunk that for you. It doesn't make me no difference. I mean, as long as I'm helping someone, that's what matters to me, in a way. And that's what should matter to every paranormal investigator or any researcher. The bottom line is you're helping someone. It's not about capturing things. It's about helping the person that's going through it and easing their mind, because you could feel crazy at times. Like, I can't believe I'm going through this. I can't believe this might be real, you know? So what matters is helping someone and setting their mind at ease, you know? Okay. But yeah, I hope y'all like my new intro. That was so cool. I learned how to do it last night. Stayed up to 5 o'clock, learning how to do it. But it was so worth it. Like, I'm so happy that it's there. Okay. So yeah, y'all please stay tuned to Disturbing Reasons to Be Afraid of the Dark for the rest of this story and for my paranormal experience tomorrow. And I'll be ready to cry if you're ready to cry with me. Okay, guys. Hope you have a good evening. I hope y'all stuff is good. Alright, guys. Remember my Nikki Luz. Stay scared, my Nikki Luz.